Hmm.
Officers will move outside and patrol the streets instead. Victoria Police claims the move will ensure as many police as possible are diverted to the front line, giving the best opportunity to respond to urgent incidents, prevent crime before it can occur.
Oh, fuck off.
And cutting services to the community should think about propping up and supporting its workforce through enterprise bargaining negotiations.
The force desperately needs more than 860 extra police to ease the current crisis, but EBA negotiations are at a stalemate.
It's a desperation state.
Christy Mayer, 7 News.
Qantas chairman Richard Goyder was booed as the airline faced a backlash at its AGM. For the first time, shareholders voted down executive salary increases after a multi-million-dollar payout to Alan Joyce.
Upbeat music.
Qantas AGM was anything but cheerful.
It's clear there's been a substantial loss of trust in the national carrier, and for all those things we apologise.
But not apologising for shutting down questions about former CEO Alan Joyce and the timing of his Qantas share sell-off.
Close down microphone 2, please. Online questions.
Shareholders unimpressed with the possible bill from court rulings against Qantas.
We are paying for your lack of ethics now.
Even the airline's service levels copped it, described as a shambles.
I left the flight feeling that the rot from the top had reached the tail.
How many of you have taken an economy class international trip in the last 12 months?
Qantas has delivered a $2.5 billion profit, but shareholders, a whopping 83% of them, slapped down the latest executive remuneration, including Alan Joyce's $21 million payout.
To all of our investors, we do hear your feedback. We understand your frustration.
The Qantas board
Yeah.
it's got the message, not only from customers, but today from shareholders. A repeat of this vote could potentially see it removed at next year's AGM.
This is a situation that is beyond belief to think that this board has any credibility in light of the way they've been operating.
Chris Monk, 7.
There's breaking news from Melbourne's southeast tonight. Christy Mayer, there's been a dramatic police takedown.
Mitch, there was a gun scare and that sparked a major police response. This unfolded in Narre Warren this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
We're just getting police details now. They told 7 News they were called to a home to check on a man allegedly in possession of a gun. He was gone by the time they arrived. They eventually tracked him down about 2.5 hours later in Berwick Springs Promenade. The suspect was injured during the dramatic takedown.
I saw the police cars and the SWAT team lay spike tracks down. He went over the spike tracks and the tires got popped. He got out the vehicle with a shotgun. And the police dogs attacked him.
The 51-year-old suspect was taken to hospital under police guard, Mitch.
Christy Mayer, thank you. Former AFL player-manager Ricky Nixon has been involved in a messy street standoff in Port Melbourne. It flared when police conducted a welfare check on the 60-year-old, leading to a tense negotiation before he was placed on a stretcher and taken to hospital. This morning, Nixon had a different version of events.
You okay, Ricky, though? What did you make of it all? You're idiots. Nothing's happened. I went and played tennis last night.
The latest drama follows a confrontation with Sam Newman at a sporting club lunch. The conflict in the Middle East is on the brink of opening up on another front. Hezbollah is expected to declare it's joining Hamas in its war on Israel,
Good on 'em.
making the situation even more dangerous for Australians trying to escape Gaza.
It's the video that will send chills through everyone who wants this war to end. Hezbollah troops arming themselves for battle. And its leader Hassan Nasrallah who'll make his first televised comments about the war later tonight. It's hard to tell if these refugees even know. They're so close to freedom they can see it through the Rafah gates. But fear here gives way to frustration. Having survived a month of unthinkable bloodshed, these last few steps feel like the hardest.
People are dying. Everybody's dying. Nobody's safe.
And this is the worst of what they're escaping. An Israeli airstrike on a UN school in Gaza. More children, many more, are among the dead in their playground. It's why America, Australia and others are urging Israel to stop temporarily so more aid can reach the hungry and the helpless.
Please call for a ceasefire. No more bombs. And please get us home.
But for now, Israel won't budge. In fact, the Prime Minister says his country is now at the height of battle.
Everyone is very determined to win this war. Having broken through Hamas's front line, Israeli troops are now marching on the gates to Gaza City. It's swift progress and it's the result of days of heavy fighting. And of course, it's coming at a heavy cost.
More than 9,000 Palestinian civilians are reportedly dead now, but with Hezbollah threatening, the worst of this war might just be getting started. In southern Israel, David Woodward, 7 News.
A former model turned Melbourne bikie enforcer has been arrested in a major police operation in Turkey. He's wanted by Victoria Police over 2 murders and was one of 30 underworld figures scooped up in the sting.
After a decade, Turkish police bring him to his knees, and with him an alleged global drug network too. 30 people with Comanchero links arrested.
4 of those men are high-value targets wanted by the AFP.
Ayik is Australia's most wanted man, also on an FBI hit list. Detained too Hakan Arif and Hassan Topol, the former model wanted by Victoria Police over 2 shooting murders. Inside mansions, police seized weapons and millions in cash. They claim this group is behind at least 15 tons of drugs coming into Australia. Big business. The whole will leave the underworld reeling.
People owed money. There is now going to be the opportunity to try and grab some of that market. It could end up with bloodshed in Sydney and in Melbourne.
Ayik fled Australia in 2010. Yesterday's arrest isn't his first misstep. Police identifying him as the distributor of the Anom messaging service to criminals, vouching it was safe. But it was devised and monitored by police, leading to the arrest of almost 400 people.
With both Australian and US authorities also keen to get their hands on Hakan Ayik, the question now is, could he be facing extradition? At this stage, because of his Turkish citizenship, that seems unlikely.
Just because we can't prosecute them here in Australia doesn't mean that we can't disrupt their activities.
Andrew Denny, 7 News.
The finishing touches are being applied to Flemington on the eve of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Beth and Yeoman is trackside this evening, and Beth, racegoers are being urged to catch public transport.
Mitch, almost 1,000 extra train services have been put on across the 4-day carnival, with almost 250,000 racegoers expected. It all kicks off tomorrow with Derby Day, and the VRC is budgeting for a crowd of more than 70,000, most dressed in the traditional black and white. 20,000 rose bushes are blooming as the track staff make their last-minute adjustments ahead of the 9-race card. And punters won't be left hungry, with 2 tons of seafood on ice and nearly 200,000 pies set for the water. We'll barely have time to catch our breath after the Derby Day. Tomorrow it's Cup Day on Tuesday. Mitch?
Beth and Yeoman at Flemington, thank you. Footy rivals are teaming up this off-season. Abby Gelmy, they have a common cause.
Oh, they do. Miniature Brownlow medalist and a sharpshooter will have the exclusive details shortly. Plus, how a new Magpies overseas safari was interrupted by a life-changing trade. Pat Cummins fires back as England prepares for an Ashes rematch with global consequences. We've got exclusive insight into how Jack Dunstan's move back to the Hawks happened.
Okay, we'll see you a bit later. Thank you, Abby. Work from home rules are facing a major test as Ambulance Victoria and workers go head-to-head on a push to force them into the office. We'll have the latest next. Also on 7 News, the fallout over a childcare scare in the northern suburbs. Victorians warned to brace for mosquitoes. Later, Melbourne's dress sharing boom. Fashion at the fraction of a price.
And it'll slowly warm up over the weekend to have a warm stretch next week. I'll have the full details later in 7.
7 News, brought to you by Aussie Broadband.
Some people reckon this is the Aussie way. Sure. But at Aussie Broadband, we reckon there's a little more to it. Like actually helping a mate when they need it. Telling it straight without a TS. After rain.
2 million Aussies invest their superannuation with us. So, if you want your super somewhere more super, check out Australian Retirement Trust.
And yes, we're on. The tent is in play. Well, both. Pro is good, and that is a tent. Being an outdoor legend feels pretty good. That makes the epic feeling. It makes the epic fun. Hey. What's going on now?
They just ate a pack of beers. They must think they're in a TikTok video. Must be all that protein.
Yeah, protein puffs by Toy Street. Oh, let's now. It's Black November at Nick Scarley. All floor stock and discontinued lines must be cleared. Up to 30, 40, 50% off. Limited stock for a limited time. Black November at Nick Scarley.
At Woolworths, we're today with great weekly specials across the store, like half price on select vitamins from Blackmores, Nature's Way, Swiss, Synovus and Boost. That's today's fresh food people.
The Audi Q8 e-tron. That's progress you can feel.
Victorians are being warned to cover up and clear out stagnant water around homes as the mosquito season begins. Heavy flooding in the north of the state has created ideal conditions for mosquitoes and an increased risk of Japanese encephalitis.
We will be rolling out the Japanese encephalitis vaccine to communities that are most at risk. So that includes LGAs right along the Murray.
Mosquito season will run right through until April. Work from home rules are facing a test as more than 1,000 Ambulance Victoria staff refuse to head back to the office. They've taken their fight to the Fair Work Tribunal.
On the road 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But staff behind the scenes are working from home and want to stay there.
The trend does seem to be that employers are adopting a much further hand when it comes to where employees perform their work, and that, from our perspective, is a little disappointing.
1,200 Ambulance Victoria staff in management, human resources, media and administration have been working from home since 2020. They're now being asked to be in the office 3 days a week. Employees are responding by taking their fight to Fair Work.
We've seen some changes that are potentially here to stay. However, let's remember that there are a range of workers, particularly in health services, who have never been able to work from home.
There needs to be an understanding from those bureaucrats. What are you there to do? You are there as part of Ambulance Victoria to deliver on the better patient outcomes. That's what the focus needs to be on.
In a statement, Ambulance Victoria said our paramedics and first responders have supported Victorians through the pandemic and have not been in a position to work remotely. We don't believe it's unreasonable that office-based staff return for a portion of the week. We believe it is time to transition out of the pandemic operating environment.
I'm not sure that it's a particularly compelling argument to say what's good for one is good for all.
Negotiations will continue for another 2 weeks. Chanel Bella, 7 News.
A 17-year-old boy has died after he was found with critical injuries on the Princess Freeway at Moe. Emergency crews were called around 3:15 this morning, but he couldn't be saved. Police want to speak with a truck driver, believed to be transporting a blue or green shipping container.
It sounds like he fucking committed suicide, to tell you the truth.
Melbourne's north are demanding answers over a toddler's close call. He broke free from carers coming just metres from traffic.
The breathtaking moment an unsupervised toddler runs towards traffic after he broke away from a Coburg childcare centre excursion has left parents stunned.
It's just a horrible oversight, and we're just really lucky that nothing worse happened.
He roamed alone for at least 6 minutes before being returned to one of the carers by locals who saved him.
They would be mortified if this has happened under their watch. They care so deeply for these children.
Centre staff have returned to where the boy ran, but today they wouldn't explain last Friday's drama.
You need to leave, otherwise I will be calling the police. I was horrified actually. My heart was in my mouth. All I kept thinking of, where was your head count before you left the park? Like, it's just a common thing.
No excursions are happening anymore. They're doing a full review of all processes to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again.
So you forgive them?
I do.
It's believed the child used a small gap in a local park's fence to leave the group, but Merribeck Council told 7 News they won't fence that section. It is often the case that parks are not fenced. Gilmore Park has fencing around most of its perimeter.
The Education Department is now investigating how it happened. That will involve interviewing the centre's management and staff who were on the excursion. Its findings likely within 2 months.
I think there'd be a loss of trust in the system and the processes.
There's been a little bit of a break of that trust. They'll work hard to rebuild it.
Paul Dowsley, 7 News.
The Victorians have just become instant millionaires after their syndicate took out one of 2 winning Powerball tickets. They're set to pocket over $1 million each in their share of the $40 million jackpot. The syndicate was set up by a store at the Queen Vic Market, with shares sold right across Melbourne. The second winning ticket is in the hands of a mystery player from New South Wales. They'll take home the remaining $20 million outright. There's more traffic trouble on the way as the North East Link ramps up. Next on 7 News, see what's happening now and what it means for commuters. Also how a cruel con preyed on desperate Melbourne renters. Here, the final Beatles song.
Are you ready for the spiciest Big Brother ever?
Our dreamy housemates face epic challenges and evictions like never before. Love blossoms and reigns. Who wins? You decide.
Big Brother starts Monday 7:30.
Inspiration. To catch it, you need to work fast. With powerful tools, your creativity is limitless. Make bigger things happen with Officeworks and Intel Evo laptops.
The new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium is here. But if it's not on Australia's best mobile network, well, imagine a yacht without the ocean. Because the new iPhone 15 Pro deserves Australia's best mobile network.
Attention customers, get into Harvey Norman now for 10% in gift cards on selected electrical appliances. That's right, 10% in gift cards on selected small appliances, vacuums and coffee machines. Plus 10% in gift cards on selected fridges, laundry, aircon and cooking appliances. And 10% in gift cards across our huge range of TV and soundbars. Spend over $250 on selected electrical appliances and get 10% in Harvey Norman gift cards. 10% in gift cards on now at Harvey Norman. Hurry, end Sunday.
And yes, we're on. The tentative play. We know we're on throw. The throw is good, and that is a tap.
Being an outdoor legend feels great. That BCF feeling is BCF fun.
Hello?
Shut up and take my money. I work hard for money. I work hard for money.
The Plush Super Sale is on now with up to 40% off selected leather and fabric sofas. Save up to 40% off at the Plush Super Sale. On now.
Things are fast, they Plush. Inspiration is everywhere. To catch it, you need to work fast. With powerful tools, your creativity is limitless. They're making things happen with Officeworks and Intel Evo laptops.
A missing boy has been reunited with his family after a night lost alone in Melbourne's
Wow,
west.
this
The
is so
10-year-old
cool.
has non-verbal autism and disappeared from Burnside last night. It sparked a major search operation involving the SES, police and his family. He was eventually found in the back of a neighbour's van. A magistrate has slammed a con artist for preying on desperate Melbourne renters in the middle of our housing crisis. The fraudster has confessed to fleecing thousands to pay off his gambling debts and is now facing a stint in jail.
Serial fraudster Stephen Kirk today admitted to luring desperate property seekers online, promising rentals that never existed to fuel his gambling addiction. Did you think you would get away with it?
I make some mistakes, that's all I'm going to say.
The 38-year-old responded to multiple ads posted on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace. 7 people deposited rent and bond money into his account. He pocketed more than $6,000 in 7 years and then ghosted them using aliases and disconnecting phone numbers. The offending spanned 3 states with offers of fake rooms and homes in Tasmania, Queensland and Victoria. Do you have anything to say to the victim?
I extremely apologise. And I'm extremely regretful.
What did you do with the money?
It was due to gambling.
The magistrate warned Kirk he's considering sending him to jail for his crimes, saying he took advantage of innocent people in a housing crisis. He'll be sentenced for his fraud charges and resisting police next week. Rochelle Brown, 7 News.
The federal government has ruled out cutting fuel taxes despite new data showing petrol prices spiking again. Households are spending more now than last year, and there are fears budgets will only get tighter with a looming interest rate rise.
3.7 million households still struggling to put food on the table. 60% of those people are employed.
Could you cut the fuel excise?
That is not something the government is considering at the moment.
The Albanese government says prices are volatile because of the conflict in the Middle East. Drivers in Melbourne's northeast could stand still as major disruptions shut down roads and freeways. But residents are being assured the pain will be well and truly worth it when the Northeast Link is up and running.
It's the biggest road project in the state's history. 4,000 workers eventually ramping up to 10,000. All of them helping to dig 2 6.5-kilometre tunnels connecting the M80 Ring Road and Eastern Freeway.
We're going to be taking 15,000 trucks a day off the roads in the northeast.
Underground works are well underway.
The ventilation tunnel at the moment is moving about 3 metres a day. It's using a different technique, it's using a road header.
But to dig tunnels for cars and trucks, they'll need something a little bigger.
16.5 metres wide, they're 90 metres long, they weigh 4,000 tonnes, and we need 2 of them. They'll probably move about 20-25 metres a day.
The front of one boring machine has arrived. More parts from Germany and China are on the way.
Obviously we try and do as much as we can at night, try to really avoid the daytime peaks.
Superloads will travel at slow speeds from the Port of Melbourne to Watsonia over 10 nights from November 18. It will mean rolling nighttime road and lane closures through the inner west, M80 Ring Road and on the Greensboro Highway. A second boring machine arrival will also shut down roads between January and March.
And we want to try and minimise any disruption, but we've got to get on and deliver this project by 2028.
From the 24th of November to the 5th of December, Bulleen Road will be shut in both directions. And while that will cause major disruptions when it reopens, further works won't be necessary until 2026.
Get that done, and then we basically complete that little piece of work there and allow the tunnelling to occur beside it.
Chanel Bella, 7 News.
Overseas, a devastating storm has battered Britain, Spain, Belgium, the Netherlands and France before making landfall in northern Italy. The 90-kilometre per hour winds and torrential rain come just days after another extreme years after the supergroup broke up. The single is called Now and Then and was remastered using the help of AI technology.
The track that took 45 years to complete. The Beatles, all four of them with their final song, led by the late John Lennon. Played for the first time at the band's Liverpool home, the Cabin Club.
It's great, that's cool. Just heard it on the show. What they've done with John Folklore. Incredible, sing it so clear.
John had made a recording in the 70s, solo. Yoko Ono handed Paul McCartney the cassette after his death, but it was scratchy and unusable. Jackson mastered AI technology to isolate John's voice.
It's all because of you.
Slipping George's guitar, recorded in the 90s, and adding Paul and Ringo. McCartney wraps his Australian tour this weekend, but there's a new classic that's already clocked up millions of streams. It'll be released on cassette too. In London, Hewitt for 7 News.
Quite remarkable. Victorian seniors are being offered an aged care alternative with help to live at home for longer. Next, what's on offer and how it stacks up. Also coming up, a breakthrough on the fireboat here in Melbourne's southeast. Our dress sharing firm delivering high fashion at low cost. And the Wiggles spinning chips over the use of optic paper.
Kate Hudson is trading high for the family life. Raising Helen, Saturday, 7:30.
With a fast NAB home loan approval, our experts are here to help. NAB, more than money.
Discover the new and go beyond the expected with APT luxury river, land, air and cruise journeys. Unearth richer experiences, find hidden treasures. From Vienna to Vietnam to Amsterdam, Canada to the Kimberley. Discover the world in a whole new way with APT luxury travel. Discover more on our website or contact your APT travel expert.
Don't get that smooth taste. We love you.
You know this is other supermarkets, but you'll save more if you shop at AUSSIE.
Oh, should have bought Specsavers. Health One members head into Specsavers before December 31 for 30% off lens options. Head into your local Specsavers today.
Stand down. More talk. More power. More Hilux. First ever Hilux GR Sport. Toyota.
It's Black November at Nick Scarley. All floor stock and discontinued lines must be cleared. Up to 30, 40, 50% off. Limited stock for a limited time. Black November at Nick Scarley.
Zero. It may sound like nothing, but at NG, our ambition is to be net zero by 2045, and we want to get there fast. We've exited coal in Australia. Building a future of batteries, wind, solar, and EV charging stations. Zero. It's the most important. That's why for NG, zero is everything.
At Redco, we've got your weekend sorted with our 5-day deals. Like 30% off Castrol Edge engine oils, and these Armour All car care favourites for just $14. And Sunday, only at Redco.
In 3 days, our dreamy housemates will face my epic challenges.
Give it a real good start.
I'll see you Monday, 7:30.
An alleged firebug has walked free on bail despite facing charges for deliberately lighting 7 fires in the Mulgrave Reserve. Police say the 28-year-old from the local area also used a saw to cut down a bridge and an axe to chop down at least 20 trees. He'll front court again next year. difficult to access and it's fraught with problems.
Help at home. Naira from Hammond Care has been assisting Jennifer and her husband Alan for 8 years now.
It's our environment, it's our home, and we obviously want to stay there. And I'm able to look after my life. I'd like her to be here with me.
More Australians now choosing their home over a nursing home.
For Hammond Care, this has grown 20% in the last year alone.
And we can reveal the uptake of government-funded home care packages has jumped too. For many, it's about independence.
I never expected to be in the world, expected to be in this position where I would need government funds.
To be eligible, most people have to be over 65 and have a recent medical diagnosis and changing family care arrangements or a recent hospital admission. But last year, more than half of aged care advocacy cases were about home care.
When you're not treated well by providers, it feels like your life isn't really of any value.
Issues mostly with communication, but also...
Oh, no.
Hard to hear stories of people who were having poor quality care, who were, I suppose, not getting showers, not getting their wound attended to.
The Royal Commission into Aged Care hearing similar horror stories. As a result, the laws regulating the sector are being completely redrafted.
Something that's based on human rights.
With care at the centre. Serena and Lauro, 7 News.
The one-time king of crypto has been found guilty of one of the biggest financial crimes in history. A US jury finding Sam Bankman-Fried stole more than $12 billion from customers before his cryptocurrency exchange FTX went bankrupt.
The cryptocurrency industry might be new. The players like Sam Bankman-Fried might be new. This kind of fraud, this kind of corruption is as old as time, and we have no patience for it.
Bankman-Fried is facing 100 years in prison. Melbourne's dress-sharing industry is booming on the eve of the Spring Carnival. Booking outlets say sales are customers chase a designer look on a budget.
Designer clothes at a fraction of the price. More women than ever are renting their wardrobes and saving hundreds of dollars on a race day look.
10 events in the last 4 weeks, so buying a dress is impossible for me.
Clothing rental outlets are booming. The Melbourne Cup Carnival, the biggest month for some businesses, with orders doubled this season.
The days where people want to spend $1,000 on a dress for a single day are pretty much gone.
Online marketplace The Vault has also noticed a massive shift as consumers prioritise sustainability and Australian-made clothes.
This year we've seen 300% growth. I think consumers today are much more savvy. Obviously the cost of living in Australia is crazy. I think we're looking at what we're spending our money on. My mum and I buy things I only tend to wear at once. So if I rent it, at least I know it's not going to be sitting in the back of my wardrobe.
It's a rapidly growing multi-billion-dollar global market for women. Now rental outlets are looking at expanding the concept.
Oh, it's a fucking Jaguar. Fuck no.
We get a lot of requests for, you know, different types of blazers.
Stephen Yeoman, 7 News.
It's a fucking...
The Wiggles have hit out at a WA council for playing hot potato on repeat to deter homeless people from a public park.
Yeah, turn it off, please. Turn it off, yeah, turn it off, it's not nice.
The Wiggles have requested the council stop playing the song, saying their music joy and happiness, and they're deeply disappointed to hear it's being used in any other way. Fair enough.
Oh,
Abby, a surprising off-field declaration from an English star has found its way back to Pat Cummins.
Certainly has, Mitch. The Aussie captain just addressed the media, and there's no love lost ahead of a crucial World Cup clash. More on that next. Also, why a Star Hawk and a Brownlow medalist have teamed up this off-season. A sight for Sauce and Kilderise in Moorabbin. The Mornington-based Melbourne Cup chance fighting against 22 years of history. And how Aussie Ange is helping spur on Collingwood's premiership defence.
Miss Fedorova, you were brought here to discuss 105 criminal charges against you.
That one got your attention.
The creator of Fast and Furious brings you a brand new thriller.
good as TPG's great value internet, starting from just $54.99 a month, and now with $0 modem on select plans. TPG.
At Woolworths, we can help you spend less today.
I know you
less
left
on
me in
Monday
here, you fucking bitch.
and Sunday. With prices dropped on Australian RSPCA approved chicken breast fillets bulk pack from the meat department to just $10 a kilo. That's today's fresh food, people.
When we found out how much debt we actually had, it was about 91,000.
As being the best decision we've made.
We've paid off 5 credit cards. It's literally changed our life. mybudget.com.au.
Don't wait for Sunday. Your 2024 adventure starts today. Explore the Kimberley on an all-inclusive small group tour. Book by 15 December and save. Search or call today. Find your outlets.
Ryobi's 36-volt HP battery mower has all the power you'd ever need. Looks like petrol power